Alright, so if you're gonna be doing self-improvement, you need to be focusing on the main three markets, which is the health, wealth, and relationship. So if you really want to start self-improving, you really want to get into the game, you really want to improve yourself in 2026 and beyond, you may be in your teenage years, you may be in your late teenage years, early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, and early 30s even. Whatever age you are right now, if you want to start self-improving, this is the video for you. Okay, so this is coming from someone who has been participating in the whole self-improvement side of things for approximately 15 years, right? Half of my life, I was already doing all of these self-improvement habits day to day. Okay, so I got some tips and tricks for you guys who want to start self-improving. First and foremost, let's start with the most obvious one, health, which is gym. Doesn't really have to be weightlifting alone, but obviously do incorporate weightlifting into your self-improvement journey when it comes to your health aspect, because who doesn't want to be huge, right? Who doesn't want to look huge? Who doesn't want to look intimidating? Who doesn't want to walk into a room that commands respect and authority, right? I mean, yeah, sure, your mentality can be on point. You can be as confident as heck, but if you look like a skinny, sucked up marathon runner, who's gonna know? Who's gonna even feel your confidence, right? I mean, yeah, sure, obviously, ideally, in the ideal world, you have both, right? You have both the physicality side of things and the mentality. Obviously, both is equally important for you to feel like, you know, you have some form of confidence, right? Because at the end of the day, when you have a good physique, people just naturally respect you, especially when it's coming from other guys, right? It doesn't really have to do with girls, okay? Girls is a different separate topic, okay? But when you have a good commanding physique, right, what does it show? Obviously, it shows discipline. It shows that you know what you're doing. It shows that you can be disciplined in something. It shows that you can be consistent with something. So this is literally like, you know, your living proof, your walking proof that you are disciplined, that you can do things, that you can achieve things that you set yourself to, right? So first and foremost, I said, man, hit the weights, go to the gym. I've been lifting ever since I was 13 years old, right? So I've been lifting for almost 20 years. It's crazy to think about it. And I've been consistent. That's the thing. So not only lifting, I've also been doing martial arts as well, right? In particular, Muay Thai and boxing and Taekwondo when I was even younger. So I also did running, cycling, triathlon-related activities. Swimming, cycling, running. Yeah, I actually did like half marathons and a youth triathlon as well when I was in my teenage years. So that's how crazy I was, right? That's how active I was. So all of those physical activities really shaped my mind, really shaped my discipline, really contributed massively to my discipline. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. If you are in your teenage years, please start hitting the weights. Please start doing some form of sports, right? Any sport, right? You don't really have to do martial arts, but ideally martial arts. Why? Because I mean, in all honesty, right? I really genuinely think that everyone should get punched in the face once in their life. Really, you have to. Because there's a lot of people out there who is talking too much, who's talking too loudly, and they think that they are the shit, but actually they ain't shit, and they haven't been punched in the mouth once. They need to, because that will really humble people. I'm kidding. Like, everyone needs to get punched in the face. That's all I have to say. If there's one lesson that they will take away from this video, is that you need to get punched in the face at least once in your life. Okay, that will really humble you. That will really put things into perspective, and that will really make you become a man, basically. Right? Get punched in the face. As a man, you really have to get your hands dirty in that sense sometimes, right? Because it will really change you as a person, okay? So getting punched in the face, getting kicked, you know, kicked in the head, you know, just basically sparring, right? I mean, obviously, you don't really have to get into a street fight. That's a different story. Do not get into a street fight. It's not worth it. Okay, it's most definitely not worth it. Even though I can fight, right? Even though I can defend myself, I'm confident that I can defend myself. Even though, yes, I know I'm not the best fighter on earth, right? But on the streets, do not fight. It is not worth it, because you never know what the other person have in their pockets, right? In their jackets. You never know, they might have a weapon. You never know that they may or may not have nothing to nothing to lose anymore. They might just go crazy, right? They might just go crazy on you, and then they might just do whatever it takes just to harm another person, right? And then the unspeakable might happen. That's not what we want. So in the case of street fighting, do not participate. Do not participate, all right? It doesn't make you a bigger man, right? I mean, sorry, if you want to be a bigger man, walk away. That's what I'm trying to say. If you want to be a bigger man, you want to be a smart man, okay, walk away, because you still have your family and your friends, your loved ones who's waiting for you to go back home safely, okay? So no matter how big your ego is, when it comes to street fighting, do not engage, all right? So that's what I'm trying to say. Only engage in self-defense. That's all I have to say, coming from a martial arts practitioner, I guess, for a few years in my life. Okay, so do not ever fight. That's all I have to say. So martial arts is most definitely the sport that I'll recommend to everyone. Martial arts and weightlifting. Get huge and be dangerous as well, right? Get the muscles, get the physique, because like I say, once you have the physique, you are more commanding, right? You get respect from other people easier, naturally, right? You always be, it's not as if people are gonna praise you like some god, right? But naturally, right, when you see another well-built gentleman, which is all what we want to be over here, it's just better, right? I wouldn't say that you get away with everything in life, right? But it most definitely gonna put you in a more desirable position. Okay, so that's all I have to say. Try it out if you don't believe me. So lift your weights and join your local gym, your local boxing gym, your local Muay Thai gym, whatever form of martial arts that you're interested in, go for it. Or you can just even join like an MMA gym where they kind of like cover everything. Yeah, go for it, really. So for the health aspect, please, if you're still young, you're still able-bodied, you're in your early adulthood, early 20s, mid-20s, whatever it is, right? Go and lift your weights and go and learn how to fight. Okay, let's not put it this way. Learn how to self-defense. Okay, and get punched in the face. That's all I have to say. Get punched in the face once or twice in your life. You have to. I feel like that is the rite of passage for every man out there. We have to get punched in the face. All right, so next thing I want to talk about is the wealth side of things. We need to put food on the table. We need to keep the lights on, right? We need to keep the tap flowing with water every single day. So how do we do that? Obviously we need money. So how do I actually suggest or recommend people to actually make money in this current day and age? I can make another video about this, but just for sake of this video, I'm going to keep things short. So what I would really recommend for people to do is be a content creator. Basically start your own business, alright? Start your own online business. Me personally, I've done dropshipping, I've done all of those online businesses in the past, and I just didn't feel like it clicked with me, right? I've done it for a year or two, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, but right now, I am kind of like using the skills that I have in my life, in the past, the problems that I solved, I'm selling the solution. Basically, right? Summary, that's how I'm going to be going about things right now. I'm going to be trying to do it that way. Alright, the problems that you have solved in your life, sell the solutions. So for me personally, what I've been doing all along is I'm doing fitness training, right? Because I obviously have a lot of experience in fitness, in bodybuilding sort of things. So I'm currently selling my solutions to other people, right? People who want to get fitter, who wants to lose fat, gain muscle, all this kind of good stuff, right? They engage me, right? So I'm selling the service right now. And in all honesty, this channel is kind of like a marketing channel, I guess. So if you guys are interested in it, you guys obviously can, I don't know, man. As of now, I don't think there's anything you guys can click in the description. But in the future, I'm most likely going to be adding some kind of a link where you guys have more access to me. I think if this is something that you guys want, then let me know down in the comment section. Yeah, that is something that I'm still exploring in. So obviously not just that, things like testosterone, that's something that I'm really interested in as well as a man, right? So that's something I want to talk more about and share with you guys more details about, especially when you're still young and when you are in your early 30s, mid, late 20s, around that range. Yeah, as of now, that's what I'm thinking. And obviously there's still a lot of other things that I can talk about and share with you guys, and just let me know in the comment section down below what are you guys interested in. Okay, so money wise, like I said, just basically put, solve your own problems and sell the solution, okay? And obviously, if you still need money, if you're still, obviously, jobs are not bad, okay? I'm not trying to say that jobs are the worst thing on earth, that we should all avoid jobs like it's a plague, right? Get a job at the start, okay? Get a job at the start, and then at the side, do your online businesses, right? I mean, you don't really have to do online businesses. If you have an idea to do your own like brick and mortar business and offline business, go ahead as well, right? Go ahead, so you can do whatever it is that you want. But what I always try to advocate to other people is that try your best to be your own boss, because I believe that that is the ultimate form of self-improvement. That is the ultimate form of personal development. Okay, so please go ahead. I feel like that is like really the end goal of it already, because entrepreneurship is really like that. It forces you to level up. It forces you to be comfortable in uncomfortable positions. Okay, so I really truly feel like being your own boss, being an entrepreneur is just the best way to level up in your self-improvement game. Okay, so do that. Go ahead and share the solutions, man. Share the solutions online. Be a content creator, get to social media, give out free tips online using social media, and then afterwards sell a service or sell like a digital product, right? Sell community access, right? There's a lot of things that you guys can go about it. Okay, I can make more videos about it in the future if you guys are interested in it. So then again, I'm not saying that jobs are a bad thing. If you really genuinely like working a job that you really genuinely enjoy, and you think that is like something that gives you a sense of purpose, then go for it, right? More power to you, man. Congratulations, because not everybody have that kind of special privileged position like you, right? Because a lot of people don't really derive purpose or happiness, you know, when it comes to working their jobs. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people quit their jobs, right? Because they don't feel fulfilled, even though they're being paid a lot, right? So if you guys have that job that really genuinely, truthfully makes you happy, hold on to it, right? I'm really genuinely happy for you guys if you guys can actually find that job for you. Okay, so next thing is relationships. Because the whole self-improvement journey can be quite lonely. Try not to make my mistakes, right? Because back then when I was younger, it was all me, right? Everything is me, and me. I didn't want to give a shit about other people. I didn't really do anything about my dating life, right? I kind of like ignore girls, right? Even though I like them, but I was just too much of a pussy to go and pursue them. Yeah, I like them, sure, right? But I just told myself that I want to improve on myself, right? I just want to stay in my lane and do nothing with other people, and then just focus on myself and focus on my goals, right? I mean, back then, like I said, I wanted to graduate in my studies, because I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't the brightest student, so I feel like I cannot afford to have any form of distraction. Yeah, so that's my goal back then. That's why I was so into self-improvement. I was so laser in and focused about having a very disciplined routine. That's right, and it helped me, right? Thankfully, it helped me, because I recall when I was in my year 1 of university, I was still with my ex-girlfriend back then, and then after year 1, we broke up. And year 2 and year 3, I told myself, okay, no, it's too big of a distraction. I did not want to have any girlfriend during year 2 and year 3. Yeah, I just want to be single and focus on my studies. Yeah, and thankfully, sure enough, thankfully I graduated, right? So that's a good thing for me. On hindsight, yeah, this is what I will still be doing. Yeah, I don't regret it. I don't regret any moment of it. So it may or may not be a distraction for you guys. So if it's distracting you, then please stop, right? Just focus on yourself. Break up if you must. Okay, don't worry. There's always girls out there, alright? There's always girls out there. There's always plenty of girls out there, okay? They're not the only one, okay? Trust me on this. Alright, boys, trust me on this. You may think you found the one, right? But no, it's not true, man. There's so many girls in the world, okay? In the world. Not just in your country, not just in your hometown, but in the world. Okay, there's so many other girls. Okay, so don't worry. Do not worry about not having enough girls to pursue, okay? Just don't sweat about it, okay? Don't sweat about it. Trust me on this. But as of now, I can't have like a mindset change. So like I said, it really depends on the position that you're in right now, okay? It really depends on the phase in your life that really determines whether or not you can afford to have a girlfriend. But what I will personally say is that you should still go ahead and develop relationships. Why? Because it's also part of self-improvement. You wouldn't want to be just focusing on yourself all the time, okay? You need to be able to socialize as well, right? You need to be masters of all domain, right? Ideally, okay? So don't just focus on yourself too much, but also try to improve on your social game, right? Not just to girls, but to guys as well, right? Networking, connections, things of that nature. Okay, so when it comes to girlfriends, right? Dating side of things, don't be afraid to go for it. Okay, don't be afraid to try, at least try, because I have a friend, right? I have a close friend of mine. I mean, he's doing all of these self-improvement habits right now, but there's just one thing that he doesn't want to do, and he's just too scared, right? He just don't dare to go for girls. He wants girls, right? He wants girls, but he's just too afraid to make the first move. He's been bodybuilding, right? I've been teaching him, showing him the ways, sharing with him all the mindset shifts that I taught him. But there's just one thing that he just doesn't want to do, right? Which is to go ahead and talk to other girls and get into the whole dating scene. So, I don't know, man. There's something that I feel that you're just being too much of a coward because you're afraid of failing. Because when you're doing all the bodybuilding stuff, you're doing all the reading stuff, all the self-improvement stuff, right? It's just you. You feel comfortable because you're just focusing you, right? You're not really taking too much of a risk, right? But if you were to include other people into the mix, all of a sudden it feels very risky. You're afraid of rejection. You're afraid of rejection. You're afraid of... I really don't know what you're afraid of. You're afraid of girls. They're humans. Relax. They pee, they shit as well. They fart. It's all the same. Don't worry. Go ahead and talk to them. Try it out. Alright? Just talk to strangers. Very common thing. Just go ahead and like ask them what shoes are they wearing. Ask them where did they buy their shoes from. Ask them where did they buy their bracelet from. Where did they get their watch from. It's very simple. Small little openness like this, right? It will lead to one thing to another. That's how I do it, right? That's how I normally do it. It's not creepy. I mean, don't be creepy. Don't be like, staring at them up and down from afar, and then you go up to them, and then the next thing you know, they're running away from you already, right? So, okay, that's another video for another day, alright? So, what I'm trying to say is, don't be afraid to carry on pursuing relationships, even though you're still in your self-improvement journey. Okay, guys? Don't be too focused on yourself to the extent where you forget about the world. Okay? Because what's the point of doing self-improvement if you're not like, reaping the benefits of it all, right? That is my thought about it. Okay, so that's about it for this video. And if you guys want more self-improvement tips, you guys want to go more in depth, please let me know down in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to make more videos about it. Alright, and comment down below if these tips make sense or not, because like I said, these tips may or may not work for anybody else. It worked for me personally, but it may or may not work for other people. Okay, so let me know in the comment section down below. Alright, so peace!